Hello, that's right, I finished it. Hey guys, it's Amelia but not the pilot, just Amelia, and I made the Sophie hood. I will say I already don't like that it sort of makes me look like I'm bald when I have it fully on with my hair up. So yeah, I made it in red because I was obsessed with that book as a kid that's called A Snowy Day, that has this little boy with a little red hat and he's like walking around in the snow, and I thought it was so cute and I said I need one of those. And to be quite honest, I had no idea what a Sophie hood was until this year when I was at my thrift store, my local thrift store, and there was one on the shelf. Someone was selling it. And I almost bought it. It was red because it reminded me of the book. But then I was like, oh, but it doesn't have the little point on the top like his does. His has a little point. And so I was like, I don't want this because I want it to have a little point. So I'm gonna make it. So I immediately looked it up and then I found this. And I did this myself. So the little point is there now. And a few different people actually asked me, they were like, I didn't know you could do that to a Sophie hood. How did you do that? And I was like, girl, it's knitting. Do whatever you want. Like, it's crafting. You do what you want because you make it fit how you want it to fit. And I sort of just feel like that's generally my vibe for fiber arts is, who cares about the rules? If it comes together at the end, who cares? And I'm actually pretty proud of this. I think the stitches are pretty even, actually. I didn't really mess up too many times. I will say I knit my hair into it, like, quite a few times by accident, because, girl, I'd be shedding like crazy all the time. But I did read somewhere online that you're apparently supposed to do that or something, so your soul can escape, or I don't know, some sort of witchy thing. And I was like, all right. So to start, I'm just gonna tell you guys that I'm gonna show you a little vlog bit about my journey making this, and then at the end I will come back to you and I will chat about how it went. First off, I want to let you know that I did the small pattern because I feel like I have a relatively small-ish head. I don't know. I feel like I don't have a ginormous head, so I just made the small one because also I don't know how to read patterns. And so that's what I did. However, I swear the pattern said to buy 4 skeins of wool, so I did. And I only used one, or like 2 basically. It was basically 1 for this side and 1 for that side, and this is what I'm left over with. I don't know, now I have 2 more skeins of this red wool, so I guess I'm gonna make another one. In fact, I will also say I wish I made the medium size because I sort of wish this sat forward a bit more. I know it's like, I think it's supposed to sit like this, but like at the same time I feel like it falls off, and also I sort of like my hoods to sit like this so I could stay warm. But like, sure, fine, aesthetics, whatever. I also feel like these are not long enough because, please hold, I feel like it's choking me. It's not. I can technically wrap it all the way around and tie it here, right? But then there's like barely anything going on there, you know? And I also feel it's like, I don't like that. So instead, I've been tying it back here, which is way more comfy and still sort of like has the vibe, you know? But alas, it's not exactly right. So I do sort of wish I made a medium. Yeah, did I follow a pattern? No, not really. So I've never used a pattern before. I've never used a pattern before. And so I bought this pattern because my mom is always on me to follow patterns and not just make stuff out of my head, which I think she's crushing my creativity. And so I did buy this pattern. I'm trying to follow the rules, I guess. It was $5. I'll link it below. It's the Sophie hood pattern, famous on Ravelry. Friend me on Ravelry, I guess. And it took me exactly 2 months to make. I think I just did the math because I'm crazy and I track all the stuff that I do. I think it took me 52 hours to complete. I probably could have done it faster if I did it every day. Like some weeks I only did like 2 hours of knitting. But yeah, it took me 52 hours. 2 of those hours though were just me trying to figure out the pattern. So I guess technically it took me 50.5 hours to complete this hood, and about 2 months because I started on like December 25th maybe, and I just finished on February 22nd. So thankfully it's still snowing, so I'm very excited about that because I feel like the problem with knitting is I always want to do it in the winter time and then wear my creation, but the snow stops and then I'm no longer interested in the knitting project because I won't be able to wear it in the snow. And this year it has snowed 12 freaking times in New Jersey, so I'm in the clear. It's February and we just had a massive blizzard again. So I made the scarf, the snood as I like to call it, and I can wear it in the snow, which is great. I'm very excited about it, not gonna lie. So this is what I'm working with after a week of being sick. It's quite a lot now, I guess. Right? That's like almost 1.5 feet. I'm really enjoying the color. I'm not messing up too much now. I finally like got the hang of it, and I've finally decided to start using like little button things to help me count, because I can't count, on my notes app. I like made a little chart on notes app, so when I finish a row I check it off, and then I start the next row, and when I finish I check it off, and that's how I'm able to perhaps do it correctly. One of my friends said that I should use a like marker to show which side is the expanding side, and that's a great idea, and I did not listen. And now it's too late. Do I think I'm doing the I-cord correctly? Sometimes. I feel like every other day I've decided I'm not doing it right, but we're just sticking to it and we're gonna see how it turns out. So this is my, I don't know, 1/3 check-in. I'm not really sure how much longer it's gonna get, right? Like this is sort of my torso. I think I'm making the small size. I actually didn't even consider that there were multiple sizes when I started. I just started making it. And maybe that's gonna be a problem later. I think I'm just gonna keep going until I think it's big enough to fit on my head, and then I'm just gonna start decreasing. And that's what I'm going to do. So, I think the pattern is just a suggestion. Stop moving!
It has been weird interviewing someone who I'm very close to.
So, update. I finished 1/2. We'll see how this goes. So pretty cool. I think I did the I-cord correctly, so that's exciting. There's only like a few, like, by my standard, this is pretty good. There's only a few like little bits that are like a little wonky. But I'm not that big of a perfectionist, so I don't really care. And I sort of like when it looks hand-knit. But this is how, I don't know if you could see, but one side is like completely straight and this side's angled. So I also did that correctly, which is really exciting because I can't count. I'm not really sure which side, like is the angled side the one that goes in the front or the back? I don't really know. But this is how it'll look, I suppose. I sort of wish this was actually longer. I did the small size. I guess I could stretch it when I block. If I block. I probably won't block, to be quite honest, because I don't believe in blocking. Anyway, can you tell I'm a new knitter? So this is my problem now, is I've reached the top. However, I do think I want it to be slightly longer, so I might do like just another couple more rows. So I guess it's 6 rows per expansion. So I might do 1 or 2 more of those, but I also wanted to make it like a pixie hat, so it has the little like bloop in the top. So I need to figure out which side goes in the back at the moment, and then I'm gonna like expand rapidly like 2 or 3 times by adding in, I guess, like picking up 2 stitches per row. Maybe it'll look crazy. Who knows? I guess you'll be able to see. So at the end of this video, if it worked out or not. But that's my plan. So I have to figure that out, and then it's just all downhill from there because it'll just be going down and lowering the stitch. Also, oh my god, the bottom of this looks crazy. I didn't realize. I had to restart this 6 times. I don't know if you recall from 5 minutes ago. I'm glad I just sort of committed to the bit and continued on, because obviously the beginning was too difficult for me because it was so tiny, and doing the I-cord like that was a bad time. Anyway, I'm sort of hoping to finish this today. Yeah, I do realize that's crazy, but I'm like maybe gonna try doing that because it is crazy snowing today. Today is the blizzard. If you are familiar with the American news, one of the many things that's happening at the moment is that there's this massive blizzard going across almost most of the country, I would say, probably 50% at least. that the news people are freaking out about. So it's just started today, basically, or I guess last night. So today is Sunday, and yeah, it's snowing, for sure. They were right. It did snow. Maybe I'll finish this in time, and then I can wear it in the snow, because that's what I want to do anyway. So yeah, we'll see. I'll check in with you guys in a bit, or maybe I'll forget, and it'll just be done in the next clip.
Funky Last Supper.
The Last Supper cannot be funky. You fold. What was that, Kirk? You would fold? Do simply to hardship? Not now, Kirk. Keep every...
So now, officially, I've completed one side. This is what the hood looks like. Yours, if you follow the pattern, should actually go in right here instead of mine goes outward, because I want it to have a little pixie hood, which you will see later, but this is exactly half. And this is all that I've left. So it took me exactly one ball of yarn to do one whole half. Onwards.
She's stripping my bed. Why is she doing that?
Well, she finally got Doyle to sleep, and
I'm sure it's just a mix-up, Mom.
And what's this?
In the back room, kissing.
It's done. Yeah, so the starting point I found extremely confusing. I did not understand what the pattern was telling me to do. I've never read a pattern before, but I feel like I understood the little lingo things. I just didn't understand. Like, in my head, I thought a knitting pattern would be like line for line, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And it doesn't do that. It says for 6 rows, do this. And then for the next 15 rows, do this thing. And I was like, okay, I'm trying. But basically what I ended up having to do was take what she had written out in the pattern and then like translate it for my brain, meaning I like wrote out each thing line for line, which to be quite honest was very helpful. I'll show you what I did here. I put it in my notes app and then I put it with like a little check mark button, and that's how I kept track of my rows, because when I was doing scarves previously it didn't really matter because it was all the same size and I was just going until I stopped. And then when I made my extremely chaotic sweater I also wasn't really keeping track of rows and I was just sort of going for it, and that didn't really work out great. So this time I was able to like follow my little pattern by like I'd finish a row, put down the needles, I hit the check mark, and then I do it and I go on to the next row, and I feel like that really worked for me, and that's how my things are so even. We're just gonna ignore the fact that I didn't realize this wasn't supposed to be 6 as well. Oh well. Yeah, I feel like my pattern thing worked. I will say there was an occasional moment when I was like, oh, I don't remember if I just clicked the button or not. So that was a problem. One of my friends was like, oh, you should put a stitch marker on the one side because this side of it is angled where this side is straight completely, like the whole time you're making it. And you could see that if you're doing it correctly. So you're only increasing or decreasing on the one side. And she was like, you should put a stitch marker on the one side to remind you which side it is so you never get lost. And I said, that's a great idea, girl. And I will not be doing it. Because I didn't have a stitch marker, and also I couldn't. But then I did eventually realize, oh, I could just use a pin as a stitch marker, so then I started doing that when I got to the hood bit, just because I was like, the hood bit seems confusing, I should probably put some stitch markers there. So I did, and that was totally fine. I think everything worked out well. I feel like, yes, the I-cord, I'd never done one before, And I do feel like the start off was very confusing for me because I didn't really, like, why are you skipping 3? I still feel like I don't, like, mentally understand how the I-cord works. Because you're, like, skipping 3, but then when you start, you're stitching them in the next row, I guess. And I don't understand how it makes that. But it worked. So, and it only, like, I mean, I have a few mess up moments in it that look a little funky, but, like, for the most part, it's fine. Actually, this isn't a mess up. This is when I threaded the thing back through. So that's not even a mess up, girl. I-cord, which was a bit of a time. I'm not gonna lie. This is where you start, right? Like, you start with one. I think this is the one. Oh, I didn't do this right, did I? These are different. I just noticed that right now. Okay, interesting. I don't know I did that. But anyway, you start with the little tip, and I could not figure it out. And then, yeah, I do feel like I had all these little stragglies. Like, there's one here, there's one here, there's one at the tip from when I mattress stitched. Which also, I don't even know if I mattress stitched correctly. I stopped reading the directions when I got to the top of the hood. Basically, I followed the pattern to, like, here, and then I did whatever I wanted for the hood after looking at the pattern and being like, oh, so that's what she wants me to do. Well, I want a little point, so I'm not following that. So then I did my little thing, and then I basically just reversed everything I had just done to do this side, which is all the pattern is. It's very easy. So that's all I have to say. Do you need to buy this pattern? I don't know, maybe not. But perhaps I'm just anti-pattern in the first place. You do you. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. It was pretty quick, to be quite honest. Yeah, 2 months. I probably could have done it in 1 if I was more focused. I would do it again. I sort of want to make everyone I know a little Sophie hood just because I think that would be cute. Maybe I'll make another one that's medium sized so it fits my head better, and I don't know if I would do the little point again or not, because now I have one with a point, so maybe I want one without a point. I don't know. Do I really need another one? Probably not. I have one already, and I'm going to wear it everywhere so that everyone knows and everyone asks where I got it and I can tell them I made it. I think I'm gonna make the little neckerchief thing next, the scarf. I'm not really sure what color to do because I sort of want to make it in red, but I feel like I own a lot of green, which is obviously clashing, but I'm wearing this so that you could see the scarf pretty well. Also, this is what I was wearing today and I didn't want to change. So I feel like I should maybe I'll make it in red and then I'll also make a blue one or something, because I just like don't really vibe with the Christmas color combination, you know? And if you want to know how I did the pointy bit, I feel like you could sort of see based on what I did. So we were supposed to do starting from here, right? So like this is the base of the hood. You're sort of just supposed to like go inwards, but instead of going inwards, I went out at a sort of drastic angle, and honestly I didn't think it was gonna look this pointy. I think it's cute, I'm happy how it is, but I did think it was just gonna be like a little, I thought it was gonna be like a tiny little boop, but it is more like little elf point, which is fine. I'm like happy with it, it's cute. So this is my Sophie hood. If you have any questions, drop them below. Am I good at knitting and will be able to answer your questions? Probably not, but I'll try my best. If you ask me to illegally send you the pattern, I won't, so don't ask that. Thank you. I feel like that always happens on these crafty ones, or people are like, can you make it for me? No, I will not make it for you. Make it yourself. You can do it. I believe in you. And that's all I have to say about this. I hope you're well. Thank you for watching. Bye.